Yeah, no, that was a good one. I'll give that one. Good. So, moving into Banco, we'll see INTZ start with the bans as they start on defense.
You like the puns?
This is interesting. So, like, Elevate have the better round difference, so they get to choose what side they start on, and they've chosen to go attack.
I'm still waiting for like your big pun.
It's coming.
Like, when's
We've
it
got all
coming? Like,
night.
I've been
We've got
waiting
all
for a
night.
while, man. Like, waiting for quite a while. I want to see it, James.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be kicked off with INTZ banning out the Hibana, and Elevate are going to be given their ban. Just wondering, like, the ban strategy from Elevate has been very interesting so far, but again, it's going to be the Thatcher ban coming out from them. They did ban this out the last time they went to Bank, and of course, the last time these teams went against each other in Bank, which was in Pro League, Elevate did win it 7-3.
Definitely feels as if it's still more Elevate's court. They have, I feel, looked... Sure, apart from Villa, they've looked a lot more impressive. You know, Clubhouse was theirs all day of the week. But Bank can be like a different story. Bank is kind of like very open, I feel, for either team to take it, just because we know the history in both of these teams and just LATAM in general. Looking at the bans, pretty standard. Mira's up there, though, which can be a bit of an issue.
I was hoping for a Bank mirror up with Elevate on the board here. We've also seen some interesting mirrors come out from INTZ as well. But while heading to round number one, we'll see exactly how this is going to be going down. It's actually going to be a CEO defense to start with here. So this could be a really good usage of mirror coming up through from INTZ. But it's not like they're going to bring it just yet. They have shown their castle, however, which kind of makes me think that they should have stick-picked that, but it could be also be like the double bait, right?
Yeah. Mind games.
But they're actually not going to bring the castle, they're going to bring an alibi instead. This is a really weird lineup from INTZ. I really didn't expect the alibi here.
I really didn't expect the CEO off the rip. If you look at those bans, that just favors the attack. Or no,
Yeah.
doesn't favor attack. It favors the defense all day long. Thatcher's gone, so Kaid becomes like an automatic pick. No Hibana means that you're very limited in what you can kind of take part in as an attacker-sided team. Top floor, just get out of the way with kind of thing. Like, you have to go here anyway, more than likely, because basement should be pretty impenetrable, and you can't really get through that. I look at this specific bomb site in general, and the way that Elevate, with that aggressive techniques and the aggression that they just keep in your face playstyle, I think it helps them a lot on this bomb site specifically, because it's all about getting the picks. There isn't like a whole lot of like strategy you can do for top floor. It's like very simple and basic, and you don't have to really think a lot. It's just literally pushing in and seeing who you can kill and who you can find. Because generally, if you do try and play a lot more strategical, there is so many ways that the defense can try and hinder your progress. You think about Kanto spot, for example. If you want to try and play strategic and push from Skylight, you can't really do that if a man's just sitting at the end of the corridor. There's no Hibana to get the reinforcements gone behind them. I just think Elevate are going to try and play like the pick game. They've tried to go for the pick game, and already, hell, he's lost that first engagement.
He has done indeed, unfortunate for him. But we'll still see these kind of nice repels coming out. Elevate definitely opening up quite a lot of angles here, and this is kind of the issue with not having a castle, is you don't deny these long sight lines. It looks like it's going to be primarily actually a lobby take coming out from Elevate here. Hell, very low HP, but is still up and kicking here on the car park.
Elevate going for a much more longer approach. Quite literal with all these long angles being held. One on the pillars windows, one still on the garage rooftops. They were taken from lobby, and this is what I expected from them, this aggressive kind of standpoint. Most teams try and take from Skylight. They put themselves in a lot of risky positions, the way that C4s kind of play out. If you go for a lobby take, it does take a little bit longer to kind of set up, I feel, with the different angles, but Elevate, they're holding it well, and there's Duds gone. That's the dock off the table, and ACOG, more importantly, now Elevate, whenever they do have this man lead, we very rarely see them let it slip.
Yeah, that is very, very true indeed. See, Mighty just going to be reloading his Ash here, and he should be able to open this wall up into Penta. And there we go, he has a very, very nice sightline all the way to Confidence. Cypress, however, going to be moving up onto the top of Spiral. He does get that kill onto Ball, but no, gets traded out instantly. That is a great pick coming off from Vitz to be able to deny that entry coming out from Elevate, as Vitz continues to move up and continues to be aggressive. And oh, he gets the down as well onto Lev. That's a great pick as well, just constantly doing the work here with the SMG-11 on the flash hider. Let's see what he can do with these constant peek out and pings. It's still playing his life very aggressively here, but he's not going to know there's someone flanking up right next to him. It's going to be Hell slowly creeping around. He's going to be able to find that pick. That's an important pick coming out from Elevate as Hell tries to make his way into conference here. This is looking horrible for INTZ right now as Drunks is going to get lit up as well. Not got too much to play around. This is a lack of castle coming in as well to hurt them. As Hell finds one, Drunks, however, going to find one right in return. Left does go down, but it's going to be all Elevate right now for round number 1.
Expected take from Elevate. That's the playstyle that favors them, is that aggressive standpoint. That was kind of a blunder why we were questioning why would you go for the top floor, why not take that kind of guaranteed round in the basement, because that basement, it's nobody ever wants to attack it, nobody ever wants to go down there, do they? Just we all float down here, isn't it, James?
Yeah, we do. We're going to be going to lockers.
There's literally a sewer down there. It's just setting it up.
Yeah, no, there is. It's true.
You get it? Setting it up.
You're really gonna. We're only in the first best of 3 here, Darrow.
Yeah, I know. I still have more.
Yeah? Okay.
There's a lot more horror movies out there, James. What's your favorite horror film?
Probably The Shining.
Okay. I've already made a Shining reference.
You have.
Did you see my Shining reference, the one I made?
Yeah.
What was it?
We're gonna be moving on.
See, you can't even remember it. It was whenever they were sledging. It was whenever they were sledging above the man instead of armor, and I said, "Here's sledge."
Moving into round number 2, however, it is
I like
be a
Saw.
CC
I watched Saw the other night, like the full series. It was really good.
You watched the full series of Saw?
Yeah, all of them. It was like I liked it a lot. It was good.
All right. So, no mirror being brought here at all. Very weird.
Yeah, for the basement, you kind of expect that. But like we know, is that teams don't really play with like mirror windows because it's not like their setup in terms of scrims, because typically mirror windows are always banned anyway. And we've kind of had this discussion before: is well, if teams don't practice with it, why then take it?
What?
No, that. LMG's a really good gun, but sometimes the long-range recoil can affect it quite a bit, and that's a perfect example.
Yeah, it's also just doesn't really
would have
seem like
worked
a
if it's
smart
just the
thing
one
to
guy.
do, maybe. But like you've lost your Maestro, and that's really good. Like you don't have garage control now without the Maestro, really, and they're gonna have to try and move someone else around to do that instead. This is not looking good for INTZ at all. That one kill may have just lost them the round, but no, it is going to be a refrag coming out here from Duds to be able to pick up Mighty. And they're still going to hold on, and there we go! The nice bait coming out from INTZ as Duds picks up a double kill there, shuts down that complete entry up into the garage.
Maverick now will be opening up that main hatch. Duds playing aggressive underneath it, see if he can pick off somebody. I think Levy has a suspicion, and well, takes his head right off the shoulders. Does bring things back now to a level playing field. And to be honest, for Elevate, they're very spread out now, the remaining 3 attackers. Defense, they still have that pulse, information gathering, and I'm sure a C4 from him and also a C4 from Kaid, along with the smoke, so plenty of denial. But as long as Elevate do have control of like that server area, that's like the main thing they want to go for, but that smoke has just been completely bypassed, and why would you go for that play? Why not talk to your teammates? That was honestly like, really smart just to completely go past the smoke, but you need to tell Lev that.
This is not looking good for Elevate at all. It's all going to be down to Lev in a 1v3 here to try and bring this in. He's going to be pushing all the way in, trying to find that refrag, but no, he's going to be denied it. VNex shuts him down, and INTZ will take round number 2. Things looking much better for them here. But almost at the start, very thrown away by that Maestro. Almost could have been a complete disaster for them.
Yeah, I don't know, Elevate, man. Sure, it's the basement, which we expect the defense to win like 9 times out of 10. That's just the kind of format of how it goes, and with the bans, that even extends into that even more so. I really like the play from Fermite. I really like that play. But if you had told somebody from your teammate just to drop at the same time, take that 1v2, you know somebody's in garage, you're in the bomb site, you're in B more specifically, and it's an easy plan and recovery from there. So, just little mistakes. The kind of cost to Elevate there.
We finally see a mirror could be coming out here from INTZ. I like the other fact that they hit it in the 6th pick, but no, they're going to bring the Maestro still. Come on, man.
No, I was like, because I was saying, would you really want to remove the Maestro and put in the mirror? I was like, Maestro's like really strong, guys, come on. But yeah, this is just, again, pretty standard from INTZ.
Well,
What you expect for the top floor?
I mean, I like the fact they brought the castle this time. I'm not sure if you bring the castle and the alibi here, but actually,
Put free alibis there.
Well, he did the same thing last time they defended his. So.
Yeah, but that's typically where they castle anyway, so it's kind of counterintuitive.
Well, I
isn't
mean,
it?
I don't mind it because it was actually quite successful last time. That
Castle,
they
double
weren't-
door, and lobby.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all because Elevate were kind of pushing completely from the lobby, and if you could just slow that down a little bit, at least it could be good.
10 seconds
Sure,
left.
why these reinforcements are very weird of what's going on right now, but
5 seconds
I
left.
would have liked to see a mirror here, but this setup is fine, I hope. I think the castle is definitely what was needed here last time, because INTZ just had absolutely nowhere to play around.
See how things go. Still, though, I feel for Elevate's sake, if they can consistently win these top floors on their attacks, that should really be all they need. Like, even if they struggle with, like, attacking tellers, which generally attackers don't, because it's very simple, but we have seen INTZ, they've had some pretty strong roam games. If you look at their Villa, defense was impeccable. We couldn't really touch upon anything they did wrong, because everything was more focused on Elevate and how they were carrying out their attacks. But definitely, if Elevate can keep on winning the top floor, they should have no worries whatsoever, because we know that defense and Bank, they have a great thing going for them. We know Elevate and defense, they are a scary thing to kind of go up against for anybody. And I kind of feel as if it's going to be the same thing, just deja vu, pretty much, for looking at Clubhouse and looking for Villa as well. Elevate will dominate the defense, and it's up to INTZ. More of their attacks is what we're going to try and focus on in whenever we do get this first half out of the way with.
Well, we'll have a look how that is going to go down when Elevate do move on to that defense, but for now, it's going to be Zion who kicks things off with a nice kill onto VNX on the roam. Already the roamer off the board.
Bomb located
It's not
by
looking
attackers.
good so far for INTZ, but there we go, there goes Hell as well. Mighty is actually going to find the kill as well as Lev as well. They're starting to do the work backwards, and INTZ now all of a sudden find themselves in a 5v2 technically, but Hell is of course injured. Should be able to recover him, however, as Boar moves through into Genesis Closet to try and go for a bit of a flank. This is very aggressive from Boar all of a sudden, as Dirt's playing around a Penta. This is what he can do in that front office area.
He's right in the middle between two attackers. One to his left, one to his right. But just holding it, not wanting to go for the aggressive pickup. Duds does win that one against Zion, but Hell has been picked up in the midst of that. Still, though, for INTZ, I feel as if they need to give themselves a little bit more aggression on this top floor. If you allow Elevate to play the way they want to, then that's where issues kind of start. You look at their Villa, their defense was aggressive. It caught the players of Elevate by surprise, and it worked for them. And Boar is now stuck in a 1 versus 3. And Elevate, they take, yeah, again, another top floor hold. And yeah, this is excellent for your Elevate. Whenever you think about saying, guys, we just took another attack, and they still can't go downstairs. It still needs to be another off-site hold from INTZ.
Yeah, that's true, and also, like, if INTZ can only hold one area, they can only win one site, then they're not going to win Bank at all. You need to be winning
it'll
more
be like a 4-2
defenses than
split,
this.
and then you're done.
Yeah, so they're going to go down to Tel's office and Archives, another offsite, as you did say, Demo, but not going to be going up to that CEO anytime soon. I really haven't liked these holds from INTZ, I'm being honest. I feel like they need a mirror in this lineup, that they're not abusing the fact that mirror is available here. Maybe going to be picking a mirror. I'm not sure if it's the mirror's the right play on this Tellers and Archives, but we are going to see in the book coming
You like
through.
the mirror, don't you?
I love a mirror on Bank. I think mirror is really good on Bank.
Not for Tellers, though, because the main way that Tellers gets played is all about opening up vertical.
I mean, maybe not, but you can play a mirror upstairs in conference, and you can try and do it that way, and try and play like the, try and like deny that vertical play coming through. I think there's definitely creative ways to use a mirror here. We haven't seen it come through so far for INTZ, but they're going to head, of course, down to that Teller's office and Archives.
Only thing about mirror for many Brazilian teams is that the mirror window kind of locks you into one mindset, and you're kind of stuck with it. If you place a mirror window, you now have to sit with that. So it's basically, you don't have that much flexible movement in terms of what you're bringing. If you bring a mirror, then you're losing out on like a Mozzie, for example, who we know is that jack of all trades, master of none. Tough decisions, but I just feel for LATAM specifically, they don't like the fact that they have to sit in this one position the whole time behind a mirror window. That's all they do. If they die, they die. If they get kills, they get kills. That's the only thing that matters. They like having that fallback maneuver that they can get with, you know, a 2-speed or a 3-speed.
So, electricals are going to be activated, and we're going to see a very kind of spread out hold around the staff area. It's not the first time we've seen this so far in OGA, but first time we've seen this in this particular series. Let's see how Elevate wanted to deal with this, but from their lineup, it kind of seems they're mostly about this vertical team. They got the Jackal on the board as well as the Book being 6th picked on. See how Elevate want to take this, but again, just mostly a lobby side take, and they seem to be pretty confident about going for this vertical play as well as that. I really like this. This is fine. I think this is exactly what you want to be doing if you're Elevate right now. You want to be going for that lobby side take, very, very coordinated take. As you said, tends to be a bit slower, but Zion, with a bit of entry journey coming up from Lev, is going to pick up the first kill of the round.
No one escapes them, do they? No one escapes life alive.
No, they don't quite do so. Was the Elevate taking that top floor control as well? They should be going well for this, and Zion's in a great position right now because all he has to do is just cut off that rotate, and they can just go straight up for their take. Nitro is going to be coming out from Via next, and you should see what exactly he can do about all of this. Surprised he hasn't used it yet right now, because he could easily get caught out right now.
You look at the setup now from Elevate, this is like B-Tech standard stuff for this specific bomb site. INTZ should know that they're not going to be safe just sitting here. The first C4 will be tossed in, but not dead in it though by 4. There you go. Just mistimed it. Milliseconds sooner, we would have seen a dead buck on our screen. Still VNX though, another C4 being prepped. When's he going to blow this one? Still just waiting for it. And again, this is where the onslaught of everybody from Elevate will start pushing in. They've opened up lobby wall, create that beachhead in. A bomb site is specifically where they're going to try and plant. They have the angles covered. This is a sure round for Elevate. Has to be.
Yeah, this is looking really good for Elevate. As you said, they got the vertical control as well, but they're looking to give his position away, and then Nitro just go out, but doesn't hide its mark, but Vitz will find his mark as Boar finds another one. This is getting shut down from Elevate right now as they find themselves in a 3v4, but they have all the control they could possibly need in the world right now. Lev is going to detonate onto that Prisma. However, this is all of a sudden not looking too good for Elevate. They do have a lot of control. We can try and recover this a little bit as Lev moving in. Doesn't have any smokes remaining as well. This is not looking good. Vitz finds one, VNX finds another, and that top floor hold has been completely annihilated from INTZ. It's all down to Lev to try and bring this in. C4 is going to go out, but it's going to miss. 15 seconds left to go on the clock for Lev to try and bring this in. 1v4. This seems impossible.
I just don't get how Elevate have let this one slip. The whole point of this attack, and why it favors the attackers, is because if you bring soft destruction, you can open up every single position for both bomb sites. The defenders can't sit anywhere. You do not push that bomb site unless you know you have the man advantage, or you know that all bomb sites are clear. They did not look in towards that archives. People were just allowed to sit there, relax, and not have to worry about anything. That makes no sense to me. You go out of your way to take upstairs control, you bring the buck, but then you basically open up one bomb site, but you forget that they can hold it from the other one. You need to look for the picks in that scenario. I don't get it. Even mistimed smoke grenades. You know, we seen smoke grenades go off after the damage had been done, after the push had came in, and the plant tried to get started. Makes no sense to me. And now we're seeing a Ying. Oh boy.
Also, the other side of it, like INTZ were playing that very, very C4 heavy, and they didn't hit a single one of those C4s. 3 C4s came out, none of them hit, and none of them got any kills, and yet Elevate still choked the round, unfortunately for them. We're seeing 2-2 as INTZ are going to go back downstairs. This was a very weird round last time, because it felt like INTZ kind of could have thrown it away when Bull went for that wide peek on from the garage entrance, but then they managed to recover it, and it was a double kill coming out from Duds. And yeah, just like kind of really aggressive from INTZ to try and shut down and meet Elevate as they managed to make their way in. A little bit of mistiming, a little bit of miscommunication from Elevate, but overall, I think kind of they should be able to take this. It just seems like miscommunication across the board from Elevate.
10 seconds left.
Very, very weird. I don't know what Ying's now going to do to this lineup.
5 seconds
You're going for the basement. You know it's the basement. Will we see that same old aggressive nature from Elevate? Will they try and explode into the bomb site? Will they try and clear out the server stairs where they knew somebody was playing and they tried to bypass that? A lot of questions now, a lot on the plate for Elevate to deal with. INTZ setting up the exact same way. Nothing new, nothing out of the ordinary. Just very basic. And they're just going to try and hunker down on site. More pressure, I feel, is always going to be the attackers, and he knows there's somebody on the stairs. The LMG starts firing through, and Mighty does open up with the first blood. Oh dear, that's the pulse.
Yeah, pulse off the board, that's not great at all. Losing a lot of that
What's he
key
shooting
info.
at? Just shot some flyers for no reason.
Well, you know, just good surprise.
Does he not want to go there on holiday?
Apparently not. So, we'll see Rainbow 5 getting underway. Still looking very, very good for Elevate. Another Nitro will go out, but will not find its mark just yet, as ADSs will get burned. Drunk still has an ADS up, but only has one charge left remaining on it. This is still looking very, very good for Drunks to try and hold this down. However, there is a Ying on the board. Candela should be able to move through now. Oh, he did actually manage to burn the ADS, which is the edge of that Candela. And hoping that flash would go off, but there's still an ADS actually in here as well, which is the mad part about it all.
Oh, I like this rotation, though, from Mighty. I like whenever I see somebody go in towards the sewers, and we'll see if they can try and end up with some kills. Instead, playing the drone hole to try and catch him off, but I'm sure he probably will rotate down to said sewers anyway. Just has to be careful of any clowns lurking down there. Oh, he's actually going to try and pop the Candelas in through the hole to assist his team. I like this setup from Elevate, and that's all the Toxic Babes as well, burned by the smoke, and there's Cypress eliminates one, but Drunk's clown comes in. Oh, he lines them all up. It's a slaughter fest for Drunks. Oh my word, someone get the Grim Reaper in here, because we found his replacement.
How do you let that happen? Why was no one watching? We only had one person trying to deal with him, and Drunks just perfectly shuts it all down. A quadra kill from him.
My heart is pumping. Oh my word.
I feel like I've been here before. OGA last season, I saw a bank that played out almost exactly the same as this, and oh god, Elevate are choking so hard right now. They only have 2 attack wins, but I mean, you can be content with that. But you need to be bringing it in.
You need a free. If you're Elevate, you're not taking anything but an even split. If you know that you're that strong in the defense, which we know they are.
Yep.
INTZ, the tax looked, dreadful. I think that's one of the words. They really need to try and pick it up. This is their final round. Only saving grace, I feel, is if INTZ do take this next round, it kind of demoralizes Elevate a little bit. Elevate then know that they have to work 10 times harder to try and get over that massive mountain. So we do go now to the open area.
I
all
like
4 bomb
this
sites.
With the mirror. I think that something I was going to mention earlier is I actually thought that this would be a good site to go to first if the mirror is up, because this site with mirror is so much easier.
It is a lot stronger the way that you can hold, and more the information I feel is what a lot of teams lack for this specific bomb site. That's why we see Clash be featured a lot if mirror is banned. Honestly, I would have liked to see Clash and mirror, because then what do you literally do as an attacking side where anywhere you move, they see you, they know exactly where you are, and a well-coordinated team, they can really utilize that information, can't they?
There's a decent amount of counters to Clash here, though, in Elevate's constant lineup, so maybe not the best pick coming out at all, but ooh, I like the setup here for like the impact tricking to come through onto that hatch. I wonder if that's going to be utilized too much. See a rook with barbed wire, not something you see that every day.
Yeah, but then again, you look at the other operators. This is like one of the only ones that does bring the barbed wire. Kai's going to have the C4, Mirror's going to have the C4. Then there's Drunks, he has the impact, so there is that substitution. You need a decent amount of barbed wire, because there is a lot of ways into this bomb site.
Yeah, I just mean like, you know, Dock over Rook is normally barbed wire or impacts, right? And it's like, that's kind of the main factor here, so maybe do we see a very rare usage of actually concentration around Rook's main utility, rather than the fact that he has impacts.
It's just, you get the armor, like the way I look at it, you get the armor straight off the rip. With Doc, you have to hope he doesn't spawn peek and die, isn't it? That's the trade-off. How many times has that happened to you, James?
Too many.
You know, you rely on Sen, you just went for an engagement within like 2 minutes 40, and you're like, oh, can I get a stim? Oh, look, he's dead. You know? That's the kind of way I look at it.
Yeah, it can be unfortunate. That, the Doc stim also just requires you to be a little more mobile and active, but yeah, Rook does get that, you know, anti-explosive damage as well.
Straight away, yeah.
And that damage reduction, of course, can be very, very nice. It also confirms that it's going to be a down straight up, so it does have advantages to it straight up.
Very similar to the two French, aren't they? Good combination, that's why we kind of see a double French now and again. So Elevate, they will start to lurk in towards the basement, creeping their way through. Trying to find pings. Vigil, I think, is going to be the next big operator that they have to deal with. We know how potent a Vigil can be. Does he have the Boss G? I doubt it, but we want to see some Boss Gs, don't we, James? That's something that's pretty scary, a Boss G with an ACOG.
I don't think we want to see a Boss G in this particular series, but we'll see Duds going to be moving.
Oh,
No! What a pick from Duds, but it's going to be Cypress who TKs Meaty as well. But it's going to be Lev who finds one of his own, but Ball strikes back and leaves it all to Lev to deal with in a 1v4. And what a terrible round for Elevate already. It's very clutchable from Lev, but as I say, he gets taken off the board. INTZ round number 6, they leave us with a 4-2 split. I think people can be content with that, but this is not how you win. Elevate really need to step it up.
Yeah, Elevate just want to be as dominant as they can in every single series they go into. It shows in their playstyle, the way they hunt for kills, the way they use their utility, so aggressive. And now they have to pull back so many rounds in the defense, but this is one of the very few teams who we know can provide that with their playstyle. Especially for Bank. You think about the amount of rotations you can provide. That's going to be probably a big thing I'm sure that Elevate will try and go for. No flank protection from INTZ. No Nomad, no Gridlock, which is one thing they could potentially worry about. But I kind of feel as if for like the first round, you don't bring it. But then if someone does go for a rotate, the next round you attack basement, that's where you bring the Nomad. Just getting your feet wet first, isn't it?
Yeah, well, moving into round number 7 now, we'll have a look how it's going to be going down as we move into INTZ's first attack round. And I think this is going to be a very definitive round as well, of kind of like how the rest of this is going to play out, because we are on our side of map now. INTZ have looked a lot better on Bank than they did during their Pro League played against Elevate. So you would think that things should go well for INTZ here. Now they have that momentum, they have that 4-2 split. It's kind of how you expect things to be. They're not at an advantage at any point, but...
Oh, Titan Killer.
Yeah.
Suppressor Titan Killer?
5 seconds to go.
Okay.
We've seen this a lot, right, on Bank with the Ela hold, because the Thatcher is banned. It makes it so much easier to hold this area with the ADS stacked up as well.
Wonder what stone he's going to be using out of the 6.
Well, we'll find out.
What's your favorite one, James?
Gotta be the Power Stone.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the Time Stone, because that's like, no offense, James, like the Time Stone was like the most OP out of the 6.
Is it?
James, literally you can go back in time.
Okay,
Literally you can go back in time.
fair enough.
Over to what, destroying an entire planet? What? You know, why destroy a planet when you can go back in time? What's the point?
I'm a kind of fan of Star Wars, so, yeah.
Yes, the mighty Death Star, which is pretty much what Elevate need right now, is some way of obliterating INTZ into many, many different pieces, and it'll probably try and help them quite a bit. But still, for Elevate, they have all the control that they can on those hatches. With the Kaid, no Thatcher, makes a lot of sense. Maverick, though, being brought by INTZ, which I like to see, and it's kind of the norm. And teams, well, some teams, we did see way back on the first playday for EU, Trust Gaming against Orgless, there was a Thatcher ban. Trust did not bring a single Maverick, which was like a big blunder to them. Zion just creeps up main stairs, gets a pick on the duds.
Amazingly, and that may be a very round-defining kill right there from Elevate, looking very, very good for themselves, already put themselves in a 4v5, but there's plenty of utility still available. Without the Zofia, it's going to be very hard to burn these ADSs now, because like you look at the lineup from INTZ, like what do they have like 6 flashbangs, right? Maybe, if they might also burn up the flashbangs, so this overall isn't looking good for them trying to burn everything. They are going to be opening up the server hatch, however, that's going to cut off the rotate coming out from the Ela, but I don't think Hell has any intention of leaving here.
No, it's a go big or go home moment right now, and he's going to make his final stand. Still low for INTZ, a minute to go. They haven't eliminated the man on server stairs. They haven't got anything really. There's a smoke, and they drop now straight into it without eliminating Ela, and now she's weary of that. Drunk's looking to push in, still a little bit skeptimistic of going for it. There's the first kill, another one potentially for Hell. No, just barely misses it out on the Maverick, but hey, Elevate, they hold it down. Great cover though, coming in from Mighty specifically, and just wide swings on out. This is very reminiscent of the Elevate we got to meet on both their Villa defense and their Clubhouse defense.
Oh no, Vince is going to run into the Ela trap. However, he's going to face the Titan Killer as well if he wants to bring this in. But he's going to be very lit up. Oh no! Zion is going to TK onto hell, but no. It's going to be the Legion of Cyprus who locks it out. Elevate take round number 7. Bit of a cluster at the end there, but they did manage to bring it in the end.
Was expected from Elevate to win this bomb site. Pretty convincingly as well. Not a whole lot that INTZ put up against that Elevate struggled with. It's how well can they hold down their second and third pick bomb sites. Top floor was one that INTZ struggled with. They played it twice. They lost it twice. And I wonder if that's going to be the same trap that Elevate will fall into, is the fact that it's so open, it's so wide, they try and play aggressive. The attackers just pick them off from the windows. Knowing INTZ, looking at their lineup specifically, they will go for a very standard skylight take. You look at the gridlock, you're expecting that to be placed on flanks. You bring the smokes to try and give cover to the plant. Because if you do go for like a lobby take, you're not there specifically to get the plant, you're there to get the kills. Skylight is completely the opposite.
So, moving into round number 8, INTZ have changed up their lineup quite a bit here. They brought the gridlock instead. They brought a Lion also as well into this lineup. They're going to know it's a CEO attack, of course, as Elevate have also changed their lineup accordingly to bring a castle into it, as well as the dock instead of the rook. So, I kind of thought that Elevate would bring a Legion here as well, since we did see them brought that in the last round as well. I do like the castle here, like I always love the castle. I think the castle setup already from Elevate looks way better than the castle that INTZ were using. They had like a really aggressive castle, but really I think for this you need castles around the site, so you have stuff to play around when they do go for that push, or else you're just going to lose really quick control. Especially that castle on the kind of hallway windows outside Banana though.
There's the Lion though from INTZ being brought in. You wake up in the dark and you hear the screams of a lion. That's whenever you start panicking, James. And especially for Brazil, who we know they love that operator, even though I think he's fallen off substantially compared to the mighty beast that he used to be. He's now turned into a bit of a cub.
Yeah, no, we have seen a lot of Lion from LATAM, especially Liquid. Do you love a little bit of Lion coming out there, but the rest of the drones will start to come out from INTZ, and they'll see exactly how they want to take this attack. But things are looking pretty even across the board right now. Elevate definitely need this defense win to tie things up. However, as long as they can just win the core sites, Elevate are absolutely fine here.
They've opened up the double wall, which is a risky strategy that some teams will go for. More the aggressive teams, and Elevate, well, they literally scream aggression every time they fire their guns. First E1D goes off, and to my surprise, INTZ look as if they're pushing for lobby rather than the expected skylight. So perhaps fearing that they do see that wall being opened up, they've instead decided to kind of change up their formula. And it's wasted a lot of time though, that's the only worry that they have. Oh. Hey, but there's the aggression that can be stopped by simply playing on the windows. This is expected though from INTZ.
Great early pick coming out from Duds already. Hell going to be off the board. That's the duck going down. That aggression from the ACOG. Not going to pay dividends for Elevate today, as Boar picks up another one for himself. Zion's off the board. There's the castle going down, so no impact tracking going to be coming through anytime soon for Elevate. This is looking awful for them right now, actually. They've lost a lot of control.
They've also changed up their strategies. They kind of baited in Elevate, thinking that they were going to go for the lobby take. But in reality, it was to draw the attention. Oh. Lev does not care if he gets scanned. And he just picks off that one kill, but still the refrags is there. And I see dead people, James.
Dead people all around, it would seem, as Lev still holding down Janitors. The smokes are going to go out, however. Mighty could be bit of a trouble in sight right now as the repels are coming out from the Growth. He's going to be baiting him out and he's going to take him down eventually. Drunk's finding that entry kill as well. All down to Lev now. He has found his second kill of the round. He's going to find 3 more and bring in the ace if he wants it, but no, it will be denied. INTZ with a great attack onto the CEO will find their first round on attack, and they put themselves at a big advantage now.
Yeah, INTZ definitely toying with Elevate, thinking that they were going to go for a lobby with the people in the windows. Then everybody from Elevate just went to go for the peaks, and they got eliminated that way. Then they kind of pulled off the reverse, still went for the skylight, opened up the wall, and from there, it's easy pickings for the most part. And yeah, Elevate, I worry now, because if they can't win their off-site bomb pick, and they can only win basement, they will fall into a never-ending loop where they will eventually lose this map and lose the series after a really great performance from Elevate. But INTZ, they've really stepped up their attacks, and that's a perfect attack that you would want from, really, anybody would want to have that attack, because it was great.
See a Frost coming out from Elevate. Very interesting indeed. They're going to go back up to that CEO office, of course, but yeah, I really thought they were going to be in the Legion. What was the big thing that you think went wrong for Elevate here during their defense?
Oh, they just peaked for no reason whatsoever. Again, Latin America playstyle, yes, we're used to that. But there has to be some certain level of like knowing when to peek aggressively. For example, what Lev did, that was peeking properly. That's whenever you go for that peek. You just don't walk out of a double door into a massive open space where there's like literally 1,000 different angles you can get killed from. That's the difference.
What amazes me is we're a bank, Mira is up, and we've only ever seen it once.
Teams just don't scrum with it. That's all it is.
Mind-blowing. But Elevate are really so good at Mira. It's just, it's depressing to see teams not adapt around the operator bans. I really think that the Mira would bring a lot to the table here for Elevate, if they would bring it. Should have been brought a lot to the table for INTZ, honestly, because I think this is the real issue, that we don't see a lot of cover coming through. We don't see a lot of like power positions being able to play. A lot of the control, they're losing really early on to these window repels, and it's just all falling apart.
INTZ, again, another similar lineup, and that's the aggressive nature of Elevate that has not paid off. And whenever we see INTZ have a lead straight off the rip, we usually see them finish that off. We see them be very decisive and very precise about how they go around their attacks, and I think it's going to be a similar story again. And I just feel that Elevate, they're not in it right now.
So,
did he get the drone there, or did he miss through them?
We'll see
I hope so, because that's an ATM.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, they know
he did drone him out. And see the Frost just be holding it down. Line is going to go out. That's going to be some easy frags coming out here as VNX makes his all the way through into stock, as Dutch finds Hell. Eventually, as VNX finds one of his own. Some great drone work and some great line pushing coming through there so far, as VNX has managed to find his way all the way through. Does opening up the window here as well. It's going to give a bit of a panic coming out from the Jaeger here, as the line charge, again, could be going off. This is some good work coming out from INTZ so far. That's turning into a 2v5, Mick at a 1v5, as VNX finds his way all the way into the site. So down to Lev yet again, with all the work to do. He's got to go clutch ace if he wants to bring this in. Looks like Vits have a good idea of where he is. He goes for the white peak, and INTZ take the round flawlessly and put themselves into match and series point for the first time.
Top floor, just not the bomb site. Not the bomb site at all for Elevate. They do get to go down to the lockers, but even if they win this, then where do they go? They then have to win another 2 rounds where they cannot go lockers. And who's to say that Elevate just can't lose this? You know, that they could easily lose this round, and INTZ could be on to face Liquid in the next round. That is completely on the cards, and we need to see some quick sleight of hand for Elevate to try and get those muddled around into their favor. So lockers, no Ella, unless we see a 6th pick from them.
Yeah, well, there you go. As you said, as you predicted, we're going to see another Ella and probably Titan Killer hold up onto that blue stairs.
We hope so.
And we'll have a look how that is going to be moving through. Elevate had a pretty good defense here last time, and I think a lot of it was centric around that area. We haven't seen either team successfully clear blue yet.
It's a tricky thing, isn't it, that blue? A lot of teams struggle with it. Like, every single defensive team that we have seen put up a server hold, they have done some damage. Like, it hasn't been like the most craziest things. For example, what INTZ did with what the smoke went for.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, we always see like the attackers struggle with it. Like in any region, any team, there's always that level of like a full like half a round setup and the utility usage. Because it's a big thing, isn't it? Whenever defensive teams don't really have a big roam game of time, because it kind of suffers the same way that Clubhouse does, where it only has 2 staircases. Both are very easy to hold off on the attacking standpoint. Only thing you can go for is to try and extend yourself in towards the basement, and whenever half of that basement is the actual bomb site, the only option you have is the server, and that's where teams try and put all their eggs in one basket. It either works well, or it works horrendously. But you have to take the risk, because if you do sit back, relax, and give the attacking team all the control in the world to carry out their attacks, you just lose outright because you don't have enough time, the utility's not on your side, and it's a simple plant and a simple hold from the attacks most of the occasions.
Well, VNX is going to be joining out the My Show. Should be able to get in here and do something, but Drux is just going to run all the way in, and Lev just finds him for free. They're not able to deal with this My Show at all. This is not a good sight for INTZ to try and push down at all. Lev has been lit up, but he's got some backup now as he realizes it could be a garage hold. And another one is going to go down. Mighty going to be finding that one for free. And yeah, that was such a terrible attack from INTZ. That was not the play.
You do not free-man push garage. Even my dad knows that. My dad knows not to do this. And he's been watching Siege for a very little amount of time. Oh, boy. So, INTZ, they've basically thrown this round away. But in the long term, I don't think it's like the biggest issue, because there's still another 2 rounds to go where they can try and seal the deal. And it will be on bomb sites that INTZ have either struggled with or haven't played as of yet. Only the basement has been the good stuff for them, and that's a nice flick from Vits.
Really wondering why Hell decided to do that. Seems like a way too aggressive thing to do this early in the round.
Ooh.
But you see a Jaeger roaming coming out of here. VNX going to be moving through the loan office. And yeah, it could definitely turn the tides if they find the Jaeger. And it was like, ball will. That is a 3v3, and that's exactly what INTZ needed.
Still have to go through the man on server. This time it will be the Legion, since that Ella has been eliminated. So it gives them a fairer gunfight. Two SMGs, an SMG and an AR, compared to the shotgun that is the Titan Killer. But still for INTZ, time is not on their side. A minute to go. All control still for Elevate. No hatches have been opened as of yet. There's the first one onto server, but the main hatch, I'm pretty sure, hasn't been opened, as it's still being kayated, and Vits hasn't had the time. Oh, there you go, you're finally getting it open, but they're cutting it close, James.
No, currently very, very close. It's going to take a little while for him to get this all opened up. It's going to have to be a very, very quick take from INTZ if they want to stand a chance. They don't have the Capital anymore. They do still have nades up on the table coming out from VNX. And as I say that, they managed to get in. Ball finds one, but instantly gets traded out by Cypress from the bottom of blue. And he has control of Diffuser. They desperately need that back if they want to bring this in. Oh my god, VNX just can't Cypress in the side. And it's all down to Lev. 10 seconds left to go on the clock. Lev knows the Diffuser is down. It does get recovered. However, INTZ will go for the push and try and get control. And they will. And INTZ will take the round, they'll take the series, and things looking way better for them as they will move through into the semifinals against Liquid.
Am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? Did I just see that happen? Elevate with one of the biggest throws of a basement bank I've ever seen. I really